we can't talk about Africa without the businessmen, okay? They've just come off a panel conversation. I've got here Mr. Andrew Wilson, who's Bahamian.
Yes, I am.
Thank you for hosting us in your motherland.
Thank you. We are happy to have you.
I can imagine.
Yes.
It must be exciting for you.
It is very exciting.
Yeah.
It's the culmination of a dream of the family coming back together.
Yeah. So in terms of business and this conference and everything that's being discussed, let's talk about those synergies and what Africa needs to do to make African business bigger.
The most important thing that African businesses need to do to make Africa bigger is to connect with the children of Africa in the diaspora.
Right.
We have experiences that are different from those of you that you would have had. You have talents and resources, and so we can be the distributor of made in Africa to the wider world. And I'm not just talking about products, I'm also talking about services.
Yes.
For instance, most of my creative services are now, well, actually over 90%, if not 100% of my creative services are now being done in Ghana.
Wow.
My graphics design, my social media marketing.
For your company in particular?
For my companies here in the Bahamas.
Wow. So you know that there is African talent out there.
Oh, there's
and you're ready,
no
but you're
question
closer to America in so many ways and are sometimes criticized for working with them more than us. So why have you chosen now to tap into Ghana and realize that there is talent on the African continent? What made you flip?
The whole purpose of my life, from my days as a street vendor in New York, was to return to my ancestral homeland and make a contribution to the development of Africa.
And you've
That
done
is
that.
my purpose for being.
And
now that I am a senior citizen, I hope to write my legacy on the great continent of Africa.
I love that, and make no mistake that you will. We can already see the legacy that you're writing. And you talked about a lesson that you would teach anybody who, you said, you asked at the end of the panel discussion, what's one lesson that you would share? You talked about failure, and that you should not be afraid to fail.
Failure is really a great opportunity in disguise. And so you learn from each and every failure. If I have not tried 100 businesses, I have not tried one.
Right.
Over 90 of those have failed. The 7, 10 approximately that have succeeded so fantastically well that I look forward to failing another 1,000 times if I can get another 100 companies.
I like that. And you talked about being a street vendor in New York. If you had not had that background, if you had not had the hunger and the tenacity and the determination to be successful, they say sometimes hardship gives you that drive, right? You grow up with that chip on your shoulder and that hunger. Do you think you would have had it if you had had a better, more privileged upbringing?
I probably would not have, because I know my son doesn't. But that is the wealth.
I hope he's not watching.
That is the wealth of Africa that I speak about. Hundreds of millions of young, hungry, highly educated young people that are determined to make it by whatever means necessary. And marry that hunger with resources and a market, and we will have an explosion of opportunities in my motherland.
So inspirational, Mr. Wilson. Thank you so much for that.
My pleasure.
Thank you. One of our panelists. These are the entrepreneurs that are making waves and making a difference on the continent and here in the Bahamas. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
All
Thank
right.
you.